This is question number 1, page 314, section 8.4. The question looks like this. It says, determine the missing information for each of the following lines of credit. Number 1, suppose you have a line of credit and receive the following statement for the month of March. Examine statements February 28th. There's a balance of a negative balance of $527.71. On March 2nd, there's a check written. So there's a withdrawal of $600. So your new balance is minus $1127.71. Another check on the 5th, $300, increases your balance to decrease your balance to minus 1427.71. There's a deposit of $2,000 on the 10th, which brings your balance above zero. It gives you $572.29. There's a check written on the 16th, 307.29, and so on. So this keeps going until the 20th, 22nd, 27th, 31st of March. And you can examine it and see withdrawals and deposits and your balances. So the question says, the limit on the line of credit is $1,000. Daily interest is 1.25% is received on positive balances. And daily interest of 8% is paid or charged on negative balances, lines of credit. If you go over $1,000, that's what's called overdraft. You get charged 18% on the amount over the $1,000, so only on the amount over $1,000. There's a service charge of $5 for each transaction. A, calculate the amount of interest earned. B, calculate the amount of interest charged on the line of credit. C, calculate the amount of interest charged on overdrafts. D, calculate the amount of service charges. And what is the account balance on March 31st? Let's start with interest earned. A, interest earned. That's easy. So interest earned from March 10th. Let's look at our interest earned. You are only earning interest on from the 10th, right, to the 19th, because you only have a balance. You have positive balances until the 19th, because on the 20th you wrote a check for $1,000, which brings you below zero again. So you have positive balances from the 10th until the 19th. So on March 10th to March 19th, we have positive balances. However, the balances change. So from March 10th to the 15th, let's look. From here, the 10th, right? The balance changes to 307.29 on the 15th, because the new balance is on the 16th. All right, so let's go back to here. March 10th to March 15th, inclusive. Inclusive means including start March 10th and including March 15th, because the balance changes on the 16th, so we must include the 15th. That's 6 days. The interest is 1.25%, because that's what you get on positive balances. The balance is on the 10th is 572.29. So the interest on that day is I equals PRT, which is 572.29 times 1.25% times 6 days out of 365. And that will give you on your calculator 12 cents. Okay. Next is from the 16th to the 19th, which is 4 days. Okay. The interest is still 1.25% on positive balances, but the balance is now $307.09. You can check yourself. 307.29 right there. So interest equals 307 529 at 1.25% for 4 days out of 365 is 4 cents. So we have 12 cents plus the 4 cents, so 16 cents is A. So let's look at our chart again. Question B says calculate the amount of interest charged on the line of credit. So you need to find the total amount of interest charged. You're charged on negative balances up to $1,000. So in other words, we're looking for amount of interest, not overdraft, but the amount of interest charged. Okay, so we know that we're charged interest when it's negative, so the 527.71. Here we go into overdraft. Overdraft, anything over $1,000 is charged at 18%. So the 127.71 in this case is charged at 18%. But we're only looking for the regular interest charges. So up to $1,000, it's at 8%. Okay, so the amount of interest charges again, we go negative here again. So it's 8% on this, this, and this. So let's do that. March 1st. You can follow along in your textbook. 1 day at 8%, right? On the $527.71. Right there. 28th, February 28th, last day of February, right? Until March 1st. So this will be I equals PRT 527.71 times 8% for 1 day out of 365. And that works out to 12 cents. March 2nd to March 9th. Inclusive. Let's have a look. March 2nd up to the 9th because it goes positive on the 10th, so including the 9th. It's 8% on $1,000 because anything over that is overdraft and we're not counting overdraft. So it's I equals PRT, so it's $1,000 times 8% times 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 8 days at 360 out of 365. Whoops, and that's $1.75 interest. All right, so I have that so far. I have that so far. Next, let's do March 20th to the 21st. Okay, inclusive, 2 days. 2 days at 8% on the 692.71 because I missed that day. Right there, the 20th goes under 692 for 2 days until the 22nd. 20th, 21st is 2 days. Okay. So for those 2 days, it's 692.71 times 8% times 2 days out of 365. Using your calculator, 30 cents. Okay, so right now I have this one, this one, this one. Let's continue this. The next one is March 22nd. No, did I screw that up? No, that's right. March 20th to 21st. And then from March 22nd to the 26th. There we go. March 22nd to the 26th, because on the 27th, the balance decreases to 941. So it's 776.21 for 5 days. And it's at 8% still. All right. So that works out to, let's see, 85 cents. All right. Next, we go from March 27th to March 31st. A quick look, because the the balance goes to minus 941.21, right? On the 27th. So that is for 5 days, 27th to the 31st. That's 5 days inclusive. At 8% still for 941.21. So I equals 941.21 times 8% times 5 days out of 365 again, and that works out to $1.03. So the total amount of interest is the 12 cents plus the $1.75 plus the 30 cents plus the 85 cents plus the $1.03. So the total is 12 plus $1.75 plus 30 cents plus the 85 cents plus the $1.03, and that works out to $4.05. Total line of credit interest charged, $4.05. That's not including the overdraft. C. C says calculate the amount of interest charged on overdrafts. Overdraft means anything that goes over $1,000. So look, it goes over $1,000 here on the 2nd and 5th. All right, and then goes up again. So from the chart, we know that from March 2nd to the March 4th, that's 3 days inclusive, because it includes those days that it's at that number. It's 18%. So anything over $1,000, so it's $127.71 over $1,000. So times that by 18%, times that by 3 days out of 365, and that works out to 19 cents. Okay, it goes over again on March 5th to March 9th, and that's 5 days inclusive, and that's 18% again on anything over $1,000. So it's gone over $427.71 times 18%, and that's 5 days out of 365. So the amount of interest on overdraft is $1.05. Overdraft is the 19 cents plus the $1.05 gives you $1.24. Let's see. D. Let's look again. D says calculate the amount of service charge. So service charge, that's $5 for every time you go over. So it's 2 times $5 It's $10. E, account balance on March 31st. Let's look. March 31st, what is the account balance? All right. So the account balance is, let's see, you'll see that you have minus 941.21 on the 27th. You need to add and subtract all of the charges, so which we've already calculated. So that is I know that 941.21 is my balance. 16 cents, $4.05 charges, minus $1.24, and also minus the $10 service fees. So your balance is actually still negative, $956.34.